much time?
There's about 35 minutes left.
So this
wait a minute, let me see.
this game's taking 15 minutes.
I was trying to get us a stopwatch.
Huh. Oh, just watch there. 35 minutes. Alright, so 15 minutes so far he's up in this game. And that's all 4 swords from Denny Chan.
That way we'll have an idea of the round timer because of the way the...
I was going to say we could time it on the computers, but...
Yeah, I just was asking if they could tilt it, but they said we can get a stopwatch. They have one.
Yeah, tilting in the timer doesn't really work. But anyway, back to the match.
Right.
We've got LSV slowly chugging away, gonna just grind out that Elspeth turn after turn. He has to keep making soldiers.
What is that, 11 counters on the Elspeth?
11 countered Elspeth, yeah. And Danny's got access to 5 islands. How big is that Tarmogoyf? He draws Vidalcan Shackles. We have sorcery. Do we have sorcery? We've got instant, at
We
least.
definitely have instant.
No sorcery.
No, probably not sorcery. Definitely instant land. The Tarmogoyf might not actually be that large. I guess top got predicted. But
So probably 4 or 5.
yeah, still pretty reasonable for a 2-mana creature.
So still pretty big. Just no sorcery.
No sorcery. Who plays those? Oh no, Fire Spouted. He Fire Spouted. So
yeah, okay.
sorcery. Yeah, we're up. And Jace died too. No, Jace
Yeah,
died.
it got countered. Okay.
Yeah, Jace
that
died
thing's
too.
huge.
We're
It all adds up.
We're just missing Artifact and Tribal, right? So
No, the top's in there.
we're just missing Tribal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Man, where's our Tribal spell when we need one? Alright, flip 3 cards.
You mean you didn't convince him to play Tarfire, Jerry?
No.
It really looked like a genius.
If anything, I would have convinced him not to pick our
Yeah, fair enough. It's better than Lightning Bolt because it's tribal.
Alright, so bounces that again. In comes Tarmogoyf. And Luis made a play there that I don't think a lot of people would have thought about, but he made sure to Fate Seal up the Jace so that, he could go start bouncing the tokens and slowly kill that Elspeth. So now he's played the slow game of, okay, bounce a token, attack, go up to Fate Seal, attack, you're going to block, bounce your token again, it's going to take a while. Okay, and yeah, Danny finally sees the writing on the wall, he just packs in to save time. Let's see.
I don't know, because if Denny was anything like Alex Bertoncini yesterday, he would have stayed in the game all the way until there was a minute and 11 seconds left.
In this matchup,
I don't know that was a
Well,
good
Alex ended up winning that game,
Yeah,
right?
he did.
Right, that's
He
the thing.
did, so...
Like, if he came into the booth and several times like, I was going to concede, but I just kept in for like no real good reason, and then like he's ripped to win the game.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So what are we sideboarding in here? Probably get some Rebs. Soar's good in this matchup. Yes, Luis. So Rebs or.
Well, Luis didn't see any green mana, and it's one infection, so he probably knows that he doesn't have Tarmogoyf.
Okay.
So Soar's not that good. Red Elemental Blast, definitely. Corrosive Grip. Maybe 1 or 2 Pithing Needles to stop Elspeth.
Yeah. Yeah. Elspeth seems like a big problem there.
And a Spell Pierce.
I mean, the Fire Spouts definitely go out. So that's at least 3 slots you get.
Oh, I forgot that he's playing a main deck Pyroblast.
What a miser.
I suggested that last night, and they just ran with it.
You gotta look like a genius, right?
Yeah.
What do we got here? We got some blasts. Maybe the Pet to Exile. Engineer Explosive is good. Belly Click is good. I don't know. It's pretty typical. Well, not quite typical, but some of the normal cards you'll see in Legacy. The interesting thing about Danny Chan's deck, once again, is he only has no creatures. He's just relying on Vidalcan Shackles and Elspeth to get the job done. And Luis doesn't know it, but Danny has the Shackles, which can also be Pithing Needled out of the sideboard.
Okay, so we got the other feature match.
So Philip Yam, PM, beats Rob Lloyd in one of our other feature matches. And there should be text coverage on that coming soon.
That's a 2-0 win.
As Luis would say, Rob Lloyd got yambushed.
Nice.
Fair.
The yambushing is an actual thing.
I would believe it. I've heard PM's name several times before. Is he a California local?
Yes. He's done well with a couple Legacy Grand Prix. I think he top 16 to top 32 Goblins.
Oh, wow.
Times. Not sure if he's playing today. But
Yeah. Did he play yesterday?
Yes. He was playing Blue White Control. Typically an aggro player.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Picked up the islands for that event.
The Squadronhawks. They're calling him.
Quite the deck. So after sideboarding was the key here. So he said game 1, counterbalance is like very important, and then after that, Tarmogoyf is like a very big card. And as we saw in that match, after sideboarding, the war changes. You've got Croson Grip, you've got Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast. Like, what changes and what's important now?
Yeah, game 1 was a perfect example of how the game goes. You know, like Luis set up with an end of turn brainstorm, which is kind of sketchy. You know, like a lot of people his caliber won't just blow a brainstorm so early. So it was very clear that he had a plan in mind. Set up counterbalance his opponents, you know, and that's what you need to do. But post-board, it's like, you can do that, you can do all that work, but then you just run headfirst into a Pyroblast or a Spell Pierce, Crossing Grip, like they have all these answers. And it's even to the point where I think Luis is going to side out Force Will.
Wow.
Just so he doesn't 2-for himself, because there are so many answers to your opponent's cards that it really doesn't matter that much.
Right, so you just 2-for-1 yourself, and you're like, okay, tap 1, you know, counter your forest. And
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, you just have a 1-mana counter spell. Luis's hand looks pretty land heavy here.
Land
I see
heavy,
a Pyroblast.
at the top. That's probably a good key.
You got a top and you got a fetch land to make it all work.
Yep, looks like they both kept it.
Yeah, so the captain, they're off to the races. Yeah, no, I think that makes total sense with the Pyroblast. You can't like go all in on your counterbalances now. You know, you can't be like counterbalance, defend, because it's just not as important. Could you?
Is that a Core Haven? Does Denny have a Core Haven in his deck?
Yes, there's one Core Haven. That is Maze of Ith Light that makes white mana, correct?
It doesn't make white. It taps for colorless.
Oh, it really taps your colorless.
Yeah.
Okay. And it costs white 1 to Maze of Ith something.
Correct.
Cute. I guess. Does that enter the battlefield tapped also?
No.
It's from Mask's block, so I just assume all the lands there enter the battlefield tapped.
I mean, the format was slow. I think the lands came into play on tapped though.
No, there's like all Peat Bog and like all those lands,
sure.
like
That one.
2-mana ones.
So Luis showing a lot of restraint here, not playing top turn 1, holding up Red Elemental Blast. Turn 2, playing top.
Oh, he's gonna crack. Respond. Yeah, going back to the end of turn brainstorm, a lot of players are like, oh, okay, brainstorm, like end step brainstorm. But it's been talked about before, end step brainstorm is actually just one of the like worst plays in Legacy. People do it all the time for absolutely no reason. Like in their combo decks, they'll be like, oh yeah, brainstorm on your turn when I miss my land drop, right? Doesn't make any sense at all.
Just untap, wait a turn, you see an extra card.
Right.
Especially if it's something so serious as you're missing your land drops. You know, you want to dig as deep as possible so that you don't brainstorm and have to put 2 back and then you're stuck for 2 more turns.
Yeah, exactly. And so, what Luis did there was just masterfully end of step brainstorm and then set up the counterbalance perfectly.
Exactly.
And his opponent had to go for it there. Alright, so let's see, we have counterbalance, fight over counterbalance, and the red gets forced.
Looks like Danny's got a couple Force of Wills too.
I don't think he's got another blue card. Yeah, he just has explosives.
I think he has another one on top.
Ah.
So now Luis is probably going to go for his own counterbalance. Oh, Denny.
Oh, flips the click. That's a dagger.
Yeah, maybe he thought it was very likely that his opponent had 2 on top.
Right, because
So
he just
you want to
leveled
go
him.
for the 3.
He just got leveled.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
By the way,
Whether
just
or not
got
it was
word
on
that
purpose.
Chapin dropped after 1-0. Apparently something came up. He didn't have time to play all day, so he dropped.
Yeah. So he wanted to get his point.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So he
I was
built an
surprised.
affinity deck.
But, well, I guess that makes sense.
Give someone a match lesson in round 1.
Right.
And then drop. Well, you know, you need the point, and the rating could matter for him, so there you go. Yeah, that was actually a really good play by Danny Chan, stacking it, so LSV went for the Vendelion click. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I don't know if he was playing around click, but...
Well, his options were Force of Will or Brainstorm. And it seems like there's no 5-drop he can play with only 3 lands. You have top that counters 1-drops. So it just ended up working out perfectly for him.
Yep.
It would have been interesting if he had a 3 and a 2, which one he would have left on top.
Right. Probably the 2, but it's hard to say for sure. Alright, so the Tarmogoyf comes in. He's gonna
Top in response, but it looks like he's missing.
I think that's Jace with Vendelion click blast.
Correct.
Yep. So, I mean, Jace is still going to be an issue, but...
Assuming he has another land, which I'm not sure he does.
Yeah, that is also an issue. And Jace also just doesn't seem as good after sideboarding. You have, Reb and Pyroblast. Like, I mean, it's still fine,
The
but...
Planeswalkers are the one thing that you can't really stop with a whole lot of other things. So, like, Force of Will is kind of good in that regard. But you still have Pithing Needle, and, like you said for Jace, you have Red Elemental Blast.
Can you retweet this?
Alright, so Luis is trying to force through a bunch of 2-drops. And Danny's going to get to stop this counterbalance with a pyro. So we're basically all in on Tarmogoyf at this point against counterbalance top.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, the counterbalance or the Tarmogoyf stuck. So, I mean, you said earlier there was the argument about should you take out your swords or not. And if Danny took out his swords or pads, then that might give Luis the window he needs with that Tarmogoyf.
yep.
Otherwise, if he just finds one, it's going to be a big issue.
Ooh, we have little Jace coming down, it looks like.
But maybe not, because he still thinks Fidelity Click's probably on top, right? Or you just have to go for it here.
Does he still have it on top?
Well, I don't know if he does or not, but I think that he hasn't cast it yet.
Yeah, he still has it. Okay.
So
Yeah, maybe he waits. Maybe he's just topping again to see what's going on.
yeah, try and find. Like he knows a 2 isn't available, so maybe he's just gonna try and dig another Tarmogoyf or something, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, gonna be beat down this game. That's my plan. Oh, and he goes for it, little Jace, and that's gonna get countered. So that's the Core Haven right there.
That is correct.
Nice.
Yeah, that's an answer to Tarmogoyf right there.
Oh no, things are looking bad for LSV this game. And the Core Haven's a land also, so we can go untap Jace, bounce your Tarmogoyf, then untap, play his Core Haven, have an active Jace, and a way to deal with the Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some serious footwork from LSV to do it, but then again, LSV's a guy who can pull off that footwork. So.
I agree, but it's very possible just because of time constraints. Like, he might actually just concede once he sees, like, this Core Haven or maybe the Jace next turn.
Yeah, and here's the Jace.
So that's the Elspeth.
Oh, he's going for Elspeth. Yeah, I guess you don't want to crack your top there. So he did leave himself vulnerable to a spell potentially because he can't top right now, so he can only counter a 3 from Medallion Click or a 1 from top. He's still open on 2, although I think Luis kind of already knew that.
Yeah. So I don't think there's really any danger of him just tapping out for that Elspeth.
I mean, I think tapping in for Elspeth is definitely the correct play there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also just another answer to Tarmogoyf. Having that Goyf, we've got instants and planeswalkers. Do we not have any lands yet? I think we've got a land somewhere, right? In Luis's graveyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got Head of Scalding
Plenty
time.
of fetches.
So that's a 3-power Goyf. Not enough to kill that Elspeth if you were to deal with the token. Alright, so he passes back with a full boat of lands untapped. He's going to top. 50 needles there too. Figure out what he wants. What do I want? No, he can't cast that Medallion Click, right? Why did he tap his Tundra instead of his Plains to activate that top?
No idea.
Maybe he just wants the Core Haven here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just doesn't. Or, you know, actually I could consider the value. He's like, I didn't draw the Medallion Click, right? He's like, oh, well, why would he not leave blue untapped? Like, if he could cast that Medallion Click. So, you know, he can kind of bluff having a 3 on top.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. That's actually a really good play. If that was indeed his intention. Hey, Kibler, step in the booth.
Brian Kibler back again.
I see Elspeth.
It's true.
Kibler sees his lady love, I guess, right?
Did you win your ad, Kibler?
I did. I defeated another combo deck. Made him discard some cards back to Great Choice. Actually, it was the High Tide Time Spiral Emrakul deck, and he was actually 1 mana away at one point from just casting High Tide, Cloud of Fairies, Echoing Truth, Cloud of Fairies, Emrakul.
Oh, wow. 1 off, huh?
It was actually sort of funny that I
Game of
I'd
Inches.
actually boarded in because I just have so many bad cards against him. Like